I think we're all in 2020 trying to tackle our schedules and better manage our time. Samantha Lane is always here to help us out with that from Origami Day. And the last time you were here, we talked a lot about kind of deciding what's important in our time and kind of what's urgent, which was eye-opening for me to kind of sift through that mess, really.
Yeah. Oh, and you're not alone. I think a lot of people struggle with that. So we did talk last time about the Eisenhower Urgency Matrix, a really phenomenal tool to kind of have checks and balances and figure out what do your time demands look like in terms of importancy and urgency. So today I kind of want to share, we know we should spend more time in the items that are in quadrant 2, the items that are important but maybe not urgent yet.
Okay.
So I want to share some tips on, well, how do we do that?
Yeah, let's get to it, because now we're ready to put that into play, which we have that quadrant, by the way, she mentioned right there on your screen. So helpful. We'll be sure to post that on our Instagram. But you're saying just planning further ahead is really a great step to start with.
Absolutely. So this applies to more than just what we'll talk about today, but one of the best things we can do with our time is shift it from this idea of sort of a nebulous concept to a measuring unit. And so because of that, we know what's coming. We understand what the next 365 days are going to look like. We know that Tuesday is going to follow Monday, and we know that next month is going to be March.
Right.
So for that reason, there's so much opportunity for us to plan farther and farther out. Now, we don't have to get really detailed on what the first day of the next school year might look like, but it's good for us to go ahead and look farther down the road. So maybe, let's say you have a board that you're a part of and you meet on the first Tuesday of every month. Well, go ahead and get that into your calendar for the rest of the year, because we know what's coming, right?
And one thing off your plate to not have to worry about.
Yes, and it really helps us to shift from this state of reactiveness and like stress and harriedness to a state of proactive living, where we're ahead of things and we're not really we're not fretting so much.
You kind of can see what you have out there already on the schedule, which is a huge help. And then, like you said, starting with what you know, where do we go from there?
So once we kind of start thinking about plotting things farther out, it's great to start with what do you know is happening. So whether that is a dentist appointment next week or your work hours for this week, go ahead and plot what you know for sure is going to happen. What have you already committed to? And that really helps you to see where that white space is. So what do you have left in your time, and what is already sort of committed and out of your control?
Keeping us from overcommitting, because I know that's a big thing for me.
Yes. And so then once we have that sort of set out, you can see where the white space might be. And that white space is our opportunity. That's our chance to then do those important things and kind of get everything else done.
I was thinking some self-care to throw in there. Yes.
So when you do your planning, you kind of start with those things you know, and then fill in that white space with the things that you want to do, those items that are important but not yet urgent. So it really helps you to shift from, I hope to call grandma this week, to I'm going to call my grandma Thursday after work, and you plot it down and you get it in your plan. And then it's less of I hope to do these quadrant 2 things to I'm planning to do these quadrant 2 things.
Because I do find myself saying, oh, I'll get to it the next week. Well, it didn't happen then. I'll go another week without it.
It's so easy for us to do that because it's not yet urgent. So it's helping to address those things that are ideal before they become a little bit stress-inducing.
The next day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This is so helpful. If people want to follow you for some more advice, where's the best place to go, Samantha?
So you can always go social media, My Origami Day, or origamiday.com, and I always try to share tips like this to help you guys really live a life of better balance.
Yeah, and if you have any questions for her, you've been coming on about once a month, so we would love to hear from you at home. We know this is something we all struggle with, and she can help us out. Thank you again. Good
You're
to see
welcome.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Again, we'll have that information on livingeasttennessee.com.